washing to fold. It's ridiculous. So I'm just gonna, I know it's really distracting, but I'm gonna fold the washing whilst I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, just something that I really want to touch on. I'll make it short because we could do a long version of it, or we could do a short version of it. I don't know if you can see me right now. Hey, I'm just having a quick break in the car. I just got to work, but I've got people at work, but I'm gonna do some emails in the car because it's nice and quiet. I've got my hot lemon water and my paleo carrot cake that I made. Doesn't mean just because it's paleo, it doesn't mean it's healthy, but it just makes me feel better about myself eating it. I just really quickly, this isn't a part of this video, but I just thought before I throw this video together and throw it out there, I just thought it really needs a quick disclaimer, because if the disclaimer is that if you're not from a world where you've suffered with infertility, you might listen to the rest of the stuff that I'm saying and really not understand, and perhaps look at me as someone that's coming across as a very bitter person, but it's not that at all. It's just infertility, struggling with infertility is a whole nother type of thing. So yeah, so the disclaimer is that if you're going to kind of be offended by the things that I'm saying, and you're going to really not have an open mind and struggle to understand what I'm saying, it's probably best you don't watch the rest of the video. It's more about social etiquette and with what not to say and what to say, and everybody's different, and I'm just talking from a place of how I've struggled with it, and yeah, certain things that can affect people that have perhaps been in my situation. But if you don't come from this world, then, or if you don't want to kind of learn about it, you might just think I'm just some really bitter person. So maybe best to not watch it and then wait for my next videos. Okay, all right, otherwise that was the disclaimer, and enjoy. I'm going to do my emails and you guys can watch the rest. Bye. Something that I'm a little bit sensitive about. I'm okay about it and I can talk about it, but this is something that if you are at an age where you have friends going through fertility problems or fertility issues, or basically anything, if you know just a tiny bit of my story, I've only shared with you guys as much as I've been told that my whole life story is, I've shared the whole fertility thing. I actually haven't. I've shared a portion of it. I've shared the IVF portion of it. Basically, before I was diagnosed with the natural killer cells, before I did that biopsy, I did share that story as well. So I had unexplained infertility. Never missed a period since I was 12 years old. Before I got tested for the natural killer cells, I obviously did years of trying to conceive, with partners. I haven't spoken about the donor situation because that's something that I need to write a book on, but I will touch on something that I haven't shared before. Only a couple of people that are very close to me know, because I did keep it quite secret. I was going through, I was trying to conceive basically, and I put in a lot of effort, a lot of money. I took time off work. Some things were said to me. I could go on. I want to just quickly talk about the things that you shouldn't say. If someone you know tells you, because a lot of people don't understand all the pregnancy, trying to conceive, abbreviations and all the lingo. So for people that fall pregnant really easily, they would have no idea what this is. if somebody tells you they are in their 2-week wait, so when you read forums or in the fertility trying to conceive community, it's called TWW. If you see TWW, that's short for 2-week wait. The 2-week wait is actually the hardest, oh my gosh, the hardest thing to go through. And I've been through many 2-week waits. When someone is in their 2-week wait, it's the time that they have between ovulation and getting your period. So it's the time that people are waiting to see, and there's nothing they can do. They've just got to be patient and let the time pass. It's after ovulation and you've tried to conceive with your donor or partner or fertility treatment like IUI or IVF. The 2-week wait is really hard time to get through. In that time, a lot of women, like, all you can do is try to relax, try to get through each day, try to stay distracted, try not to do pregnancy tests, which many women, including myself, are serial testers, and you can try to test early. So there's not much you can do. The only thing they say you can do is just try to relax, because that's the time that you're waiting to see if your embryo, if your egg and the sperm create an embryo. Then you need to see if it implants, if implantation occurs. So some people check for implantations usually around day 5, 6, 7 after conception. And some women, if your egg has become an embryo and implanted, some women will feel like a bit of mild cramping. They'll get a little bit of implantation bleeding. There's a few signs to look for, but then also there's a lot of people that fall pregnant and don't get any of these symptoms at all. What happened for me, and why I'll just talk about what the 2-week wait is people need a lot of support, understanding. A lot of people don't know what the 2-week wait is. I did something that, this wasn't the only cycle, but I did something pretty big, and in hindsight I could look at it and go, that was stupid because I took that time off work, I spent all that money, but I don't regret it because it's part of my story in trying to conceive. I had found a wonderful donor, which I just love and respect so much. I've met some wonderful people that have offered to be donors, which I never used, but I was very fortunate through some crazy times, like risks that I took, and I met a couple of donors in my whole journey. I had a wonderful donor in London. I'm not going to go into the story too much because it's just like a really long story, but I went all the way to London. I took the time off work whilst I was still running the dance school from afar, and I flew all the way to London to do a cycle. And I didn't tell anyone, I didn't want to tell anyone what I was doing or really where I was. It was only towards the end of the trip that I thought, you know what, like, I'm in London, I need to start enjoying this a little bit. And I didn't want the criticism of people being like, oh, look at her, like, while she's got a business, and criticizing, going like, oh, she must be rolling in it, like, look at her on another holiday, which it wasn't a freaking holiday. I went away on a trip as part of my trying to conceive journey, and the trip was based, the baby's kicking really hard now and it's really distracting. It was based all around my ovulation. It was no holiday, okay? It was part of it was like another fertility trip basically. And when I came back, I was in my 2-week wait when I came back from London. So that meant I had 2 weeks or like a good week and a half to just relax, take it easy, and really, really hope, do all the right things, and no saunas, no hot baths, just try to relax, stay calm, and to see if my body would take, if the embryo would take, and if that cycle would work. And I told someone what I had done, and I told this person that I am in my 2-week wait. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm basically a really bad liar, so when people ask me questions, it's hard for me to like, you know, and it just sounds a bit bizarre if you tell someone you've just gone over to London for 10 days or a week. Yeah, and in my 2-week wait, which I'm sure this person perhaps didn't understand, but hopefully you watch this video and it will help you if you know anyone going through fertility problems. If they tell you they are in their 2-week wait, don't ask too many questions. Like, that person is trying to stay calm. And if you don't know what to say, the best thing you can do for someone in their 2-week wait is just distract them. Ask them, do you want to go grab some lunch? Do you want to go see a movie? Like, meet up for a coffee. And, you know, some people are really serious in their 2-week wait, won't drink coffee, but you can just treat them normal. Don't ask questions about fertility, and just distract the person. Like, you know, say, would you like to, you know, let's go to the pub, let's just take their mind off it. But if someone tells you that they are in their 2-week wait, it's a really, really crucial period. And in that moment, I'd spent all that money and I was waiting to see if my body, trying to stay calm. And I understand that I was trying to conceive using a donor and that the baby would have no father, but look at where I am now. Anyway, someone that is trying to conceive that desperately has obviously thought of everything. This baby is going wild, like wild right now. Yeah, someone in my situation that's flown to the other side of the world to try to conceive, we have thought of everything. We've tried every relationship. Yeah, like we've gone out with the toxic guy. Like we've gone out with the guy, not getting emotional. We've gone out with the guy that treats us like shit, but then we go, oh, well, I'm getting older and, you know, but, you know, I guess this is as good as it gets, and, you know, I better not be too picky because I'm running out of time. We have thought of everything. And one more thing, so that's someone's 2-week wait. Just the best way to support a friend who's going through their 2-week wait is just to distract them. Don't ask them if they've tested. Don't ask them if their test is positive. Just distract them. Try not to ask questions about it. You know, I'm sure if someone wants to tell you if they're pregnant or not, or if it worked or if it didn't work, they'll wait till the end of the 2-week wait and then they'll generally tell you. Another thing, because we could go on forever about just things that you shouldn't probably say to people in my situation. I know some of you might be watching this and going, what is she talking about? She's pregnant. She can't complain. You don't understand. I went through this for years, okay? It's taken me so long to get to where I am, okay? And I'm still not there yet. I don't have a baby in my arms yet, okay? So it's not over, you know? Even exes of mine, so many people did not understand. If you have not tried to conceive for years with your partner and you haven't gone through years of negative tests and miscarriages and testing and appointments, and you haven't gone through the heartbreak of that, you don't understand what it feels like to constantly, like, you know, to not have a baby in your arms when everyone else around you is falling pregnant. People didn't, this one person, it's happened quite a bit, but it's happened a couple of times probably with exes that haven't had trouble conceiving, haven't tried to conceive before with partners, and they've come to me and they've told me all happy and just like about friends of theirs. Now I'm going to seem bitter because if you haven't gone through this, you don't know what I'm talking about, but anyone from this world understands what I'm about to say. Totally, I know that you will get it. This person said to me like, oh, such and such is having another baby, blah, blah, blah. And just for someone that's been trying to conceive for so long, just be careful in how you deliver that, because not that we want you to tread around us. We want people to treat us like we're normal. Already people avoid telling us things, not wanting to invite us to things because, you know, we don't have kids, or because they feel bad. But so treat us like we're normal. But if you are dating a girl that's tried for years to fall pregnant, don't come to them and just say like, oh, such and such is having a baby. Like basically their husband sneezed on them and they fell pregnant again. Like, it's gonna be, you're not gonna understand it, but it's gonna be upsetting to us, like, which sounds weird because you're like, that's wonderful news that someone's having another baby. I get it. And we are happy for people that are falling pregnant. It's just a major trigger. So just be mindful when you come to someone that's been struggling with infertility for years and you've never understood that heartbreak yourself, and you come and then you go, oh, such and such is having another baby. Like, and it's all perfect for them. And, you know, they didn't even really have to try, you know, and just be mindful that that is really hard for people like us to take. Okay, so yeah, and the reason why I wanted to talk about the 2-week wait thing is because after that happened, I don't even know if my head's been cut off for all of this. I was so upset being told that I'll be judged for my decisions, which, do you think I honestly care and that's going to determine the difference between the choice to be a mother and not, because people will judge me? People are going to judge you, me, no matter what I do. There's always someone watching, and the more, like me, even more so, because I put myself out there publicly and I talk about these things. I've got people watching me that they probably don't want to like me. They're probably watching me wanting to find something and not like me. Hate to tell you, but I'm actually a really nice person. And I know it would like really annoy you, but I'm actually pretty cool. Sounds like I'm full of myself. No, I'm actually a pretty cool person. And I know that some people just like, you know, they just don't want to like you, but telling you right now, like if we went out for a coffee, we'd probably get on like a house on fire. You know what, I will, in other videos, I'll talk about other pregnancy, trying to conceive, lingo, and for anyone that if you're entering into it and you're starting to read forums and you don't know what all of it means, yeah, I'll explain all the abbreviations, because in that world, and once you start reading forums, it's like there's a whole nother language. But yeah, pregnancy announcements in general can be like really, really hard to take. And we are happy for people, but it's really hard because like we want it so badly, and you're just kind of like, when will it be my turn? It was really hard. When I was in Bulgaria there for my first round of IVF, I was walking the streets and it was New Year's. And what do you think? And I was there for Christmas and New Year's. And what do you think everybody does on Christmas and New Year's? When they're pregnant, they announce on Christmas and New Year's. That's why the New Year's just gone and Christmas, I knew I was pregnant, but there was absolutely no way I was going to come out and tell everyone I was pregnant on Christmas and New Year's, because I know, well, a close friend knew, but I wasn't going to come out and publicly announce on Christmas and New Year's. After what I've been through, I would never do that to other people. Like, it's just, at New Year's, it's like, it's so hard. Not only like when I was in Bulgaria doing my IVF, was I alone, walking the streets in like on the other side of the world, completely isolated. Like, you open up Facebook and it's just like pregnancy announcement after pregnancy announcement after, oh, we're having a baby. And like, it's a full on time just for anyone going through that is childless and hasn't got their positive test yet and hasn't had a baby yet. Like, it's just, yeah, there was no way I was going to announce at Christmas and New Year's. I wouldn't do that to you guys. I wouldn't do that to anyone because I know what it feels like. So, yeah. Just like a little bit of food for thought. And I know some people have never ever had to think about this stuff, but if as you get older, or if you're like my age, like in your mid-30s, you might not be going through this stuff, but there's chances are someone that you know might be going through this, and you know, they may be just keeping it private, and not everybody comes out like me. I didn't talk about this stuff. I didn't talk about this stuff publicly when I was going through it. I kept it really quiet. And it's only now because, well, I don't even have a baby yet, but because I'm finally pregnant, which I just need it to stay up there and keep cooking. Yeah. But it's only finally now I want to talk about this stuff because it might help someone. But yeah, share this with anyone. This video, if you and your partner, maybe not yourself, but if you have friends of yours that are going through this, even if you want to skip the other part where I skip what I'm eating and me whinging about other bits and pieces and blah blah, like if you're like, she's really draining, just at least show them that little section about the 2-week wait, because yeah. All right, I've got to keep folding these clothes because it's just overwhelming. All right, I'll see you guys bit later. I've got to go for a walk. Okay, bye.